Here they're sort of okay, I'm on my back porch, and you recognize that guy in my bird feeder. Oh, there are birds too. Yeah, sometimes there's a little fight as to who's going to get the better of it. They have a good time out there. I fill it up every day. Then they get scared and they're all gone. Everyone. There's nothing. Well, there he comes back. He didn't go away too long. There comes the birds too. Yeah. So here's inside my back porch. I have it finished. Well, most of it is done. So that's a little garden, indoor garden here, and you see this character here. They're sort of having a little conversation on the back porch here. And that's not a bad idea. And here I got the grill. I bumped out this area here that you see. And this window here, which actually is a door, it opens up. So when I want to do some grilling here, the smoke goes out that way. And I got a fan to blow it out. So that's not a bad thing. It looks good. And now people are going to use it a little more because it's not out in my workshop. And there's a old board right there, and I put a couple of birdhouses on it, hanging it on the wall. And there's sort of a half-moon window there with some old toys in it. And that, well, I think that basket is had it. It's the end, you know, I mean, it's October, almost the middle of October here. So that's gonna go out pretty soon. But I got the lights up in there and they go on automatically. I turned them on now so you can see them. And it's right early afternoon here. And there you have it in the corner. There's my stereo and this is where I sit there where the red pillows are. I sit there and do my studying there. I got a book laying right down there that I'm working on. And it's a thing about Afton Mountain in the Appalachian in Virginia. A lot of strange things have gone up there, and Americans have a little knowledge of history and what's going on, so they would never have heard of this thing. And that's what my programming, by the way, is all about. So you see what it looks like in here a little bit. And up on the shelf there's some old watering can. And up on the top shelf there's old toys. There's a fire truck right there. And some other stuff right in that window sill there. And in my younger days I used to do some wood carving. So I took a picture a long time ago of a church in Greenwich, and I carved it out and hung it on the wall. It's actually a clock, but the battery is dead. Good thing I'm not dead, but the battery is dead, and it'll be fixed up. And someone gave us that picture there. Oh, we leaned it up against the wall. And over here, There's some more trinkets and stuff that you hang up, some old hats on the wall there, some figures up on that yellow shelf, and a good chair to sit in, and some empty coffee cups right there. So I go over to this other garden over here, that's inside. And in there I have a waterfall, so I'm going to turn that on. I like to have a little indoor sound. So this, well, there's not much to look at here now. The daisies that you see over there is the second comeback, but they're not going to amount to a hill of bean, but it was beautiful earlier in the summertime. So I'm going to turn on my Niagara Fall here. And you see, there you have a little waterfall. A little cardinal sitting up there. It used to be chippering along just like a cardinal, but it doesn't do that anymore. A little beautiful flowers up here from a basket. And out here is the way to the street. Right there, through the door. And here, it's a bunch of fish I carved a long time ago. And I got the buoys hanging up on the wall in here. So there's my little Niagara. I should have taken a picture of this much earlier when I had all these different flowers, but I just cleaned this thing up now. And there's my lighthouse. I tried to lift it, but it wasn't that light. So that's how it goes. And here from inside to the other end. That's my back porch. We got some rugs on the floor and things like that. So it's nice and comfortable out here. We sit out here in the evening, turn on a little nice music, and sit out here and enjoy it. I bring my food down there and I have something to eat as well. And that's only one of a kind of a door. I made it a long time ago, just to be different. Some knick-knack stuff sitting in here, things hanging on the wall. So this is what it looks like here, and you can see a little bit from the outside. Not much to look at anymore. But I didn't get this thing ready till late here, so I didn't have a picture to show you till I do this video now. And this was a birch tree in the back there, and then the old branch fell off. So I had some old birdhouses hanging around, and I hung them on there, rigged it up so that it would stay. So that's a little decoration from the outside. And all these buoys up here. And that birdhouses hanging there, Blue Star Motel, for example. Very good. They give you good service there. So, and this here, I got to tell you a little story about this. This is a drag or a little boat anchor. I had a 16-footer, you know, when I was a young man up in Lake Zor in Newtown. And I rebuilt the little inboard engine, a one lunger, and it was an antique, but it was fun to go fishing up there in the lake with it. One day I came back and my boat 16-footer was gone. Somebody cut the rope and stole it. And I never, you know, even bothered to look into it because somebody put it on the trailer and just, well, throw away. But the anchor was there. I saw the rope floating there, so I brought it back home and had it in the basement for years and years and years. And then I decided to make a light out of it and hang it on my back porch. So I did that. And that's nice to have, kind of thing. So this is what it looks like inside my back porch. And my little Niagara Fall is ticking away in the back there. And turn around and you see a little bit the other side. There's plenty of space on my back porch here, so you can have 10 or more people sitting here easily. I can get more chairs out here, you know, the plastic kind, so it's no problem. And this three guys here, they're having a little conversation, and I guess she's auditing for a opera singer, that girl over here in the chair. And they're listening in to see what it is, and the captain is sitting there and wondering whether this is going to be okay or not. So, now we say goodbye to my back porch, and we'll catch you on the other side of the street. Take care for now. Part of my backyard right here. There isn't much to, well, it's getting into the fall, so I'm still doing some work out here. And you can see a little bit more of it there. That grass needs to be cut one more time. But we'll manage to do that too. Okay, this is Arnie Engen, the Illucitarian. Let's take a trip around my studio, and with a little accordion music in the background, we go. A slow sweep of my studio. What you see there first was the windows and what's on the outside of them. Then we go panning around. And we're going to get into this a little closer as we go along here. But for now, we're just going to move around so you can get an overall view of what's going on. Oh, there should be another tune coming up. Yeah, I thought so. Just a little background. Well, that's a whole view. Almost 360 degrees here. Not quite, but it's pretty good. So we're gonna go around a little more details here as we cruise. Okay? Okay, I'm walking my way down to the end here and show you some of the stuff that I have here. All the stuff that you see in here is media. That is television, the newspapers, magazines, and radio stuff. It's stuff in here that you do not see on any of the aforementioned media. All that you see in here. This is powerful stuff, and I use it on my programs. This is a painting here that my youngest brother, painted. Go away, you fly. And I doctored it up a little bit here with my own, so I could have part of the painting too in a, well, small way. And we got different kinds of books and things here. Here's one by John Stossel. Give me a break. That's what I need, a nice little break. And all kinds of powerful books here. You never see this stuff on the shelves of your library. And plenty of things in here. And all this good stuff here. We'll take a closer look at the things when I get over to my other cameras. So here we got books, all kinds of stuff on education here. All the stuff that you see up in here. Extremely powerful things. And we're going to go into it a little more, as I say. This is a nice little painting here. I don't know who did it. I can't read the name. It's so small. But I like it, so I have it up here. And in here, I'm going to show you, here's all stuff about the Vatican. Tons of stuff in here. And Israel, the Khazar Jews in here. So all of you who thinks and defend Israel don't know what you're doing. But I do. And that's why I have it in here. And you're going to go into some more stuff that you see up in here. Thousands and thousands of pages I have here. And it's good stuff. All this stuff you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drawers full of banker stuff. In here too, here's about Israel and Islam that you see up in here. Very good stuff. A couple of my copy machines here. All the stuff that you see up in here, whole lot of stuff, is not something you find in the media, ever. So I'm going to show you a little more of that stuff too. And, come on, here. Here's my weapon. It resides in here. Thousands of documents have gone through here and talked to all kinds of people who do not have the mental capacity to handle knowledge in what is contained inside here. Now, I'm going to go around a little bit more and switch the cameras over to the other side here a little bit, so we can see what's going on over there. And that is to the right of where we were. So I'm going to take a little walk over there now and show you what I'm doing here. Now here's pictures from Decca. And the ones, when I send this over to Norway, some of those people over there will recognize these things here. And there's some music stuff and things that I have up in here that I use from time to time on my show. And behind the pictures, you see here, here's the Khazar stuff and the false Jews that so many people over in Norway haven't been brainwashed into believing is the real McCoy. All this stuff that you see in here. And down on the bottom here where you can't see it as well. A lot of good stuff I have here. And I just hang this picture back up and make it look a little nicer. I just simply take out what I need from here and I go. And that's how you get your stuff together. Same thing up above in there. And here, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll show you a little close up later on when I get over here a little close up. This is something my wife and I bought in Ireland. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 little pictures here. And it's painted by E.M. And this is a barn on Sulsum Lake. And this is the schoolhouse where I went to school. So I'm going to come back to do a little more on that as well later on. And here's more very high-powered books here. All this stuff here is very high-powered stuff. Very few people have the mental capacity to handle this kind of knowledge that is in here. And that's what you see over here as well. I left a couple of screws here while I was working on this thing here. And we're going to get back to all of these things a little later on here as I go. But I thought I'd give you a little shot at the stuff that goes around here. And one more thing here, in the corner here. This is some of my old monitors. I have a couple more of this left over, and all the stuff that was doing, when we were doing the stuff on the tapes. And in here is a couple of coffee mugs and different things, and stuff that I have in here that deals with all the shows and books that I've done. There's a big book there like all the bankers, like the Warburgs, the House of Morgan, and so on. Very good stuff. And here, these are pictures from Norway, and my email stuff here, likeIwannahelpmail.com. This is from Rudvik area here. This is a nice pencil drawing. And this is from a calendar, by the way, these pictures here. I didn't take these pictures myself. And here, this fish, a codfish, when my guy took us out to a place, and we went fishing out there, and there's my girl right there. She's holding in some codfish. See? And she caught all these codfish that you see here. And I got this on an old video. And here we are up in here, another picture from Rudvik area, and this another calendar picture here. And this here is from Leka, the island where I come from here. This used to be the harbor where my dad, who's long gone now, kept his boat. And here we are at the studio up in Walton. I'm gonna do a little more on that later too, so you can have a little better picture of it. So I'm gonna go back and swing the cameras around a little bit more, so you can get an idea from there over to the last sections here, more or less. What you see up in here is some of the tapes from my earlier shows. I've done dozens and dozens of these things here. What you see, there's another row of them laying behind up in here. So what you see in the front here is just some of them. And in the basement is more. And some of them are laying up in here. And here's one of my other cameras here, sitting here ready to go. And there's another picture from northern Norway here, also a calendar. And this here, this fishing things here, that's from my dad. And I hung that up on a wall here. And there's an old wagon here with oxen that you pull, that pulls them here, that you see. And a couple more tapes there, and some other stuff from my dad's days when he was a fisherman. And here again, we have a lot of information. All this stuff that you see in here has to do with knowledge. It has to do with things that I have done over the years. A lot of things in here, a lot of charts and so on that reveals the connection between the different entities in the New World Order. Here we have a whole lot of stuff in here on the Constitution, on Christianity, the United States government, the Tea Party gang in America here, and all sorts of stuff, all the way up to the floors here, back and forth. All these things I filled up, all kinds of stuff in here. And I just simply go over here and get what I want whenever I want to. And in here we have more of the same thing. All of what you see here is about legal stuff. Yeah, I got a lot of that stuff too. All that you see down in here. Full of it. All these drawers I filled to the gill with stuff. And more books and things in here when I get the camera in the opposite direction, and we can see a little bit more of that. And this is my heater right here. It's a gas heater. I turn it on, and this fan here blows the heat across the room. And I have an electric heater here and an electric heater over there that I use. And that's what you have seen so far with the camera there. And we're going to go into more of this thing as we go along. You see my other stuff here. So I'm going to take the camera off and walk around with it a little bit. Well, here is a few snippets from some of my earlier programs. And I'm going to go over to the control machines over there and show you a little more. But I thought I'd let this run a little bit here for you, so you see what my studio is all about.
People who comes out there and tells me that America was founded on Christianity. Who were these founders? The founding scoundrels. But you have been led to believe that guys like President Lincoln was the most formidable and best president America ever had. You have been so deceived, you poor little soul, you don't know whether you're coming or going. They have contracted to send you a bill of created information for the benefit of your own ignorance. Here's something for you to look at. See that? The final triumph of the British over America. This is by a lady named Joan Dion. She's a very knowledgeable lady, and I had the nice opportunity to talk to her about that. Why does it say the final triumph for the British over America? What's going on here? I thought we were an independent country. Were there a British army here that took us over in the past several decades?
Okay, now you see that stuff there? That I do. I'm going to go to another one here.
Who is America, as you saw there at the beginning? Means, where are you going, America?
See if I can find the right channel here.
About everything, and thus we are still going around in circles. Honest Navigator is actually figuring it out. You're part of the thimble riggers. You know, where they switch the P inside a thimble, you know, like the sewing ladies used to have in the old days. And you figure out which one, where the P, which one of the timbals the P.
Okay, let's go to the other one now.
Your car tax or your
There we go.
property taxes, and see how much you owe. They come after you because they lent it to us, so we pay rent on it. And that's exactly what it is. We're squatters. And we pay to live in
And I'm going to turn on to the other channel. I can switch back and forth between two here.
That I have here.
Let's go and play it. There.
It's going to be originated from Hollywood. And they got Studio G all fixed up. Guess what the show was?
There's Glendora. And
Great
there's
history
Josalonia,
was here, all there was
Albert
was
Lebrun,
Yeah.
and there's Edward Whitney, and Glendora there, and there's myself
your own
there.
show on TV.
That's up at our studios up in
since 1954.
Walton.
Since 1954.
Bunch of years ago now.
Because I wanted to start out small.
Wow, wow. Oh, Glendora.
Can you wake up, Joe?
Well, I'm awake. I'm listening. I'm taking this
Glendora,
all in.
welcome to the show. It's wonderful to have you here. We are not worried about you as long as you as long as you have your gloves on. We wonder when you're going to take them off. You know, that's where we might have some problems there. You are a wonderful lady, and we're so happy to have you here. And ladies and gentlemen, due to the efforts of Glendora, we are now on so many cable stations. I have to get a list of all the new cable stations that we are on.
I can tell you in general by state.
Oh, okay.
Let's start on the West Coast.
West Coast.
Are you listening, Amy? Portland, Oregon. Santa Fe, New Mexico. Los Alamos, New Mexico. Buffalo, New York. Binghamton, New York. Albany, New York. And then all of Westchester County, where all those wealthy people live, and all of Dutchess County, and Putnam County. These are New York, and then the 5 boroughs of New York City: Queens, Bronx, Staten, Manhattan, and then what's the other big one?
Brooklyn.
Did I mention? Okay, Queens. Oh, that's right. All 5 boroughs. And then all of Long Island, all the way up to East Hampton, Montauk, and way out there. In Bergen County, New Jersey, is where I have put Cold Harvest.
How about Washington, D.C.?
Oh yeah, Washington. Oh yeah, that's just the nation's capital. We didn't.
I want George to hear me, what I have to say about him.
Yeah. We're going to get it going there too.
Yeah, okay.
It will be there too. So we want you to tell the audience a little bit about yourself, how you got started on these things here, and working up the road here to
Yeah.
the celebrities.
Yes. One night I was working in the mimeograph in the script service department. And by the way, that was all the Jack Webb people, and he was doing Dragnet. This was radio.
Oh, yeah,
this was radio.
yeah.
You know. And they told me I ran the mimeograph department, the mimeograph machine. And they told me to take these scripts up to Studio A. There was a change in the script. And I'm running up the stairs, and here's a man at the candy canteen machine. And he's hitting the machine. And he says, I put my nickel in that. Now this is how long ago it was. I put my nickel in there, and I didn't get my candy bar. You know who that man was? Robert Young. He was there doing the radio show Father Knows Best.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah. Who you run into, huh?
Yeah, it was good.
Well, did you hear the one about John D. Rockefeller and Bob Hope?
No,
Bob Hope was selling newspapers in probably 1909 or something like that.
that's right. Rockefeller came from Cleveland, and so did Bob Hope.
Yeah. So Bob Hope selling newspapers, and John D. comes and gives Bob Hope a dime, and he's waiting for his nickel. Bob Hope had to go in and out the stores trying to get change for a dime. What people, huh?
Oh, that's Rockefeller.
Yeah.
We used to go to church in Tarrytown, New York, which they renamed Sleepy Hollow.
Okay.
And, that was the Rockefeller
Now
church.
you've seen a little bit of
Catherine and I
my
went to
program
Mary
with
Rockefeller, used to
Glendora.
be one of us, and her husband, Lawrence.
Yeah.
And they all have that Rockefeller look. They all look just like John D.
So there, folks, I'm going to take the camera and do a little more things around here as we go, so you can get a good picture of what my studio is doing. Okay, I'm going to show you some pictures here, so you can get an idea what I'm up against her, so to speak. Now this here is from Rudwick or something. My wife and I bought it over in Rudwick a long, long time ago. And here we have a picture from a calendar. And the valley down in here, this goes up Trollstigen, I think, and that's where this is from. In the Møre og Romsdal district of Norway. And there you see lekka1@hotmail.com. That's me. And this is from northern Norway. This is also, all of these pictures that you see here is from a calendar. So when I'm not using my studio, I lower this down here and I have a little entertainment out of the pictures here. This is from Lofoten up here with the dried codfish. And here is Glendora and Ed Whitney and Albert Lebrun. We went to visit her many years ago, and this is from her her museum in a big 50-foot long trailer that she stores all her stuff in there, which is a very good thing here. And this here is a bunch of codfish here. This is long time ago when we Dreidad Berg og Jordan came to Vågan on the island of Leka where I grew up, and they took us to Horteberg, a bunch of islands a couple of hours out in the ocean. And on the way back we started to do some fishing, and my wife was the one who did the fishing here. And she's so proud getting that codfish, and this is all the codfish here that she got. A lot of them, a lot of good meals out of that. And of course here is the picture you saw on the little monitor screen there up at the studio in Bolton, Connecticut. And here, and this is from the my dad's harbor. There's no boat here now, but there used to be a boat here now, and that's my dad's old boathouse. And there's his neighbor lived up here. That's his boathouse there, but both of them are gone now. There's no more, not much more fishing there. And here we have from Leka, Kolset to, and here we have Magne. I think that's, no, this is Jets, yeah. And here's another picture here from the island. And this is another, no, this is from Rørvik, yeah, or Vikna. And this here is another calendar picture here. And this is my sign that I use here, the Illusionarian's view of the upside down world, which is what we have here. I hope I didn't stand in the way here while I was doing this. Maybe the camera obscured some of the things that I did here. So that's something that you have here. Let me go back and check this thing out. See if it came out okay.
Like gravity by night.
Here you see some of my little snippets of my old programs that we did up in Bolton and also up in Cheshire in the old days.
And the government of all be consolidated.
There's my guest on here, Edward Whitney from Fairfield, Connecticut, lives in Westport now.
Washington as the
And
center of all power. It will render powerless the checks provided.
he's doing a quote
and
right
will
there.
become as venal
Now I
and
gotta
oppressive
switch over, you
as the
see,
government from
to the
which
other one.
we separated,
Yeah.
namely the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
And
I'm Arnie Engen, the Illusitarian, and we're going to continue
sometimes
to
I have
elucidate
guests on and sometimes
on the
I don't.
subject matter of education and knowledge. What is education and what is knowledge?
And that I just finished 11 hours
This
on
is
that.
a big problem in America.
And I got 2 more to do.
We have lost our direction. There are no navigators on the bridge of America
Now we're going to switch
anymore.
over to a
Who
couple of
knows
more
what direction we're going?
cameras over
Because
here
we
that
have
I take.
rejected
And play that. Oops. I gotta find the right channel here.
the the United States
There we
is
go.
Israel. There's another same kind of deception going on in that sense.
And that
too.
these are
But
from
you
these
know
two
how I prove
machines
my
here
point
that I
is
used to
because
have.
People come after me.
And
They
I
wanna
got
shut me down.
I got
They
one
don't
more
want to
like
hear
this
the
on the old
truth.
monitor
They
still
don't have
left
the
that I
mentality
use
to
in the
hear
house.
truth. Their kind of truth resides in the dark, and they will
And
not
you can switch
cannot
over here too
be
with a
exposed
different
to the
one.
light. And they can't disprove this kind of.
See? 2005. That's 5 years ago. Did this program's there now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuning in to What is America? Where are you going, America? And indeed, where are we going? We want to always make sure that we talk to you, our viewers, our listeners out there, on subject matters that pertains to serious issues that confronts this country. We have been bamboozled by the establishment at large in Washington, D.C. and elsewhere in the various states of this union, so-called. And we aim to educate you out there to illustrate the point of necessity for you to be involved in what's happening in your country. And we don't want you to be a couch potato, but become a hot potato instead with respect to what's happening in your neighborhood. And you know that unless we take the country back, as we used to have on this program, we must take America back. We first have to educate you so that you will understand what is at stake in this country and in your neighborhood. We aim to try to educate you. We do serious research. We are not the one, and I am certainly not the one who's saying anything about what we are saying, but we let the evidence speak for itself. And there's so much evidence out there, as we all here can attest to, that is irrefutable to prove anything that we say wrong. You can't do that because we have so many backup systems. And this information is everywhere, all over the country. And now, having said that, I want to introduce ourselves a little bit here. On my far left is Ed Whitney. You remember him. Welcome to the show, Ed. And on my far right is Joe Salonia, World War II veterans. And where have I seen you before? In front of the cameras up at Bolton.
For the last 20 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Happy to be here, Arnie. Thanks.
Yes, it's very good to have you here, Joe. And Joe is also, by the way, on radio programs once or twice a week up at Central Connecticut State
Yeah.
University, where he talks on subject matters relative to what we're talking about on our cable access programs there.
Yeah, that's on 107.7 at 8 o'clock in the morning at Central College.
Yeah, and be sure to give out your website somewhere down the line.
Oh, yeah, I will. I should have gave it to Amy in the beginning before we started the show.
Yeah, well, you can mention it, you know. And then we have Albert Lebrun from South Windsor, Connecticut. And he and Ed and myself have done a 10-hour or so, 8-10 hours program on the fraudulent judicial system in the United States of America. And we still got to do a lot more. We're studying up on the next phase on that program, Albert.
Thank you.
And so we have to get together and coordinate our things here. Again, I say that this is with serious and unimpeachable documentation. We know what we are talking about, and we're going to present some more truth to you. That is what the mission of What is America is. And now I want to introduce to you, our viewers, our special guest of the evening, Glendora. Welcome to Chat with Glendora.
Thank you very much. You have a piece of lint on your jacket.
Oh, wow.
Just like a woman, huh?
So, and Glendora has been in the radio and television business for what, 54 years? How long?
1950 to 2005. That would be 55 years.
55 years. Oh, I'm sorry, I goofed a little bit on my arithmetic there.
Isn't it amazing what the public will stand?
Yeah, and Glendora has been in show business, and she has been with big time people out there. And so we're very happy to have Glendora on our program. And here is
There he is.
a picture here of Glendora and Bob Hope. And as long as we have Glendora, we have hope.
Right.
You're getting good, Artie.
And so there's hope for all of you out there.
And he said in 1957 at the Eastern States Exposition, that's where this was taken. I'll hold it steadily for you, Amy.
Camera 3.
When I showed this to him at another place where I met him, he said, "Look how young we both looked."
He said that, huh?
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
That was 1957.
Uh-huh. And then you have also been on another interesting talk show host on TV, a man of great intelligence and a lot of knowledge. As a matter of fact, they say he's a man of letters. Letterman.
His father was a mail carrier.
He was? Okay.
He's a letterman.
He's a letterman. Oh my goodness. We usually don't do silly stuff like this, but because we have Glendora on our program, we
Yeah,
can't
that
help
was-
ourselves.
That was David Letterman. You really should see that piece.
David Letterman,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
a great piece.
Yeah, I'm getting that tape so I can show it to my
Yeah,
wife.
we ought to show it to you. We'll give it to Amy to
Yeah.
show it to you. It really is a great piece.
Yes, it is. And who else have you been on with?
I don't know
You don't
that
know?
I was on with anybody's show. When I worked at NBC Hollywood, I saw Red Skelton. Are you old enough to remember?
How
Red
about
Skelton?
yeah,
Jack Benny?
yeah, Roger Marks?
Yes, definitely. Mr. Marx was a very serious man.
He was.
Oh, he's very serious. He came out, he was filming. He
Oh.
filmed these shows. Of course, this was long before there was any videotape. But he was filming, and George Fenneman, remember the duck that came down?
Mhm.
And he was filming his show in Studio D at Sunset and Vine.
Uh-huh.
And he came out of the Irish entrance and he saw me and he said, "Good evening, isn't it a nice evening?" He was very serious and very gentlemanly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about Red Skelton?
Oh, Red Skelton was an interesting case. He had all kinds of stomach trouble every
He
time.
did?
Oh, he did. When
You
he,
were not the cause of that now. I hope not.
No, and I was standing in the little short hallway into Studio A, and he came off of the microphone. This was only radio, wasn't TV. And he came off the radio, off of that, and he was just a mess. He was just a mess. It affected him so badly to be in front of the public. But he never showed it, did he?
Yeah.
But he really was sick. After these.
And
Yeah.
how about Dinah Shore?
Oh yeah. See the USA in your Chevrolet.
Yes.
And one funny thing that happened at NBC Hollywood. Now I'm talking about 1951 and 2. That was the beginning of television. It started in 1949, and it was so funny because all the money was in New York. You see.
All right, there you've seen some of the stuff we did with Glendora, and there you
So
have
they got ready for
a good portion of the kind of programming that we did. All right, so I'll continue with the next segment of my tour around the studio. Okay, we'll take the next phase of our trip around my studio. Here, you see we have a little wall here that moves. Now that is from Rurvik area there. Bought these and another one here. This one over here. These are pencil drawings, beautifully done, very nice details. And this is a calendar picture here from Lofoten. And this is from Møre Romsdal. This is the road, the valley up toward Trollstigen. We took a trip up there. And this is my email there, as you can see, like1@hotmail.com. It's another picture here from Lofoten where you see dried fish up in here. And there's my wife fishing, cod fishing there. And that was from right at Barrigoyoran. They came to the little harbor where my dad's boat was. And they took us out to the island where they have a restored house out there, a couple of hours out in the ocean, called Hortava. And on the way back, she caught this nice codfish here. Very nice stuff. Good meal there. And here we have a picture here of Albert LeBrun and Edward Whitney and Glendora right there in that 50-foot long trailer, which she calls the museum. She's got a lot of stuff in there. And here's a picture that you saw on the little monitor screen up there where we did that show. And here we are with my picture here. This is where Edward Whitney was taking the picture in the same museum trailer. And this is the harbor where Dad had his boat, and his neighbor over here had, this is the boathouses. That's my dad's old boathouse, still there. But the boat is all gone now. And this is, I've been up on top of this mountain here. And this is, I think, Jens. Yeah, Jens Aune is a farm here. And there's another calendar picture here from northern Norway. And here you see the Elusitarians' view of the upside down world. And then I'm going to show you how it looks like when we open up this here. And I'm going to just go in front of the cameras here and set it up there. Now I show you what I can do with some other stuff that I have in my studio here. I'm going to shut off the music here now and play this for you. And stop there. Now we turn up the volume again, and you see the movie that I can also play here on my equipment. This Glendora and others who watch this program is from a documentary from Norway during World War II about the underground or the resistance movement. And that's sort of heavy-duty music that goes along with this drama things here that you see. And I'll play a few clips of this here so you have an idea of it. A little more. There you go. Of course, this is in Norwegian because it's a Norwegian movie, Norwegian documentary. So the writings there is in Norwegian. But anyway, you all get an idea about what happened there in World War II. This is one of the many different movies on the subject here. So this is the kind of stuff that I have rigged up in my studio, so I can do a couple of things like that. And I'm gonna go and shut this off here now so we continue our demonstration of what I can do in my little studio here. Okay, that's that. Here on this program. And this here is a picture from Trenton, Florida. We're doing a video conference. We're doing a video call. Yeah. Now, if you could just get a couple of politicians on here, Joe, what do you think? They would be able to talk? Or would they turn so red in the face that they'd blow up the cameras?
They'd have to look over their shoulders to their handlers.
Yeah.
They're going to say the right things.
Yeah.
like Bush and his handlers, you know.
Yeah. Well, Joe and I used to do a lot of television programs. We were up in Cheshire, in Connecticut. We were there for many, many years. We produced a lot of cable access program on We Must Take America Back. And then when we stopped going up there, we went up to Bolton, Connecticut. And we helped to set up the new studio that they built up there from an old fire station. So there you see what we did on the teleconferences. We did several programs. They didn't want us to be up there anymore either. And this is going here. The next one. And you see all this stuff here? This is about the education. All these books, all this knowledge that you see here. That's over 7,000 pages of information. 24, 25 different books at least here. And there's just the daylight out there still. And you see the stacks of papers over here? That is something I'm going to go through when we get to it. These are different sources of documentation. There are dozens of them in here. And I'm going to take you to task on the subject of looking into this thing here. But first, we're going to go and check out some interesting thing here that you think you're free in this country. And you think you're educated in this country. Let me set this thing up on my little side camera here. And I will also show you a little bit interesting thing, that there are some people in this country who have some knowledge. And I came across this in one of those free newspapers you pick up at the supermarket and other places. You see them laying there on the entrance to various stores. Published down in Wallingford. And I cut this article out of it. And you can see this thing here, a little girl. Well, she's not little, she's big in that mind. Zoe Bermudez, she's 13 years old, wrote an article, nice one, in the Manhattan Project. Most of you people. Okay, so that you see something about the stuff that I do. To Manhattan. Yeah, now we're going to go back and do some things on the studio. And here you see I have my storage here. I made this drawer here. See, it goes in and I pull out all the stuff that I want to store in here, like all my tape stuff, and this tells you where things are going. All this just made to fit a DVD size. So I have it here. For example, here's Glendora stuff right in here. And this is the last one she sent me here that I'm gonna play. And so you just push this in and out, and you're all set. And when you're said and done with things, you shut everything off and you lower down, and you're back to the pictures again. Till next time when you start up. Do the shows. This is my background here. So I can switch things around any way I want to. I can put a whole new things in here. Easy as can be. And now I'm in the process of setting up for another 2 hours of education here. So I'm getting ready to do that. And those boxes that you see are full of educational material. And there you see some stuff I wrote on education myself. And
when you look in here, this can also go in front of my camera right here. No problem at all. And there, you see, I can put some other shirts and stuff on here whenever I want to. This is styrofoam, 4x8 piece of styrofoam. And I set that up and run the cameras on it. And all this stuff that you see here is things that I can do. In here, you see my old radio. It works. A lot of stuff on education and political things in here. In here you have anything from Christianity to the Holocaust, to Khazar Jews, and the Vaticans, and all kinds of other stuff in here. There's some more of my old tapes that you saw some of the stuff on the monitor there. There's the constitutional stuff, there's Christianity, there's Muslim, and more on politics at all up in here. This is our old documentation, serious documentation. And here's some more interesting things up in here, the books. And plenty more videos up there. These are things that are bumper stickers. Get us out of the United Nations. Indeed, it is a fraud. And here we have some pictures from the island of Leka, where I grew up. I used to walk through this pass here as a kid, and more up there. Pictures that I took a long time ago. And this is a painting here that my brother did, and I kind of worked a little bit on it myself. This is from northern Norway, this painting. And there's another boat here. That's from somewhere up the coast of Connecticut here, or Massachusetts, or maybe Rhode Island. Nice little painting. I tell you, there's a lot of knowledge in here if you can handle it. Thousands of documentation. All you see here, that's all on the banking industry. All those pink stickers there. Thousands and thousands of pages. Now let me show you this painting here too. I'll take this globe out of the way. And one of my brothers also painted this one. Pretty strong colors, but you don't find too many of these kind of paintings around, I can tell you that. So it's interesting to have things to do that makes sense. Here's a barn from Leka right here. Nice old barn with trees up on the top of it. And this here is from Solson, where I went to school. Right there, I'm going to point to it. That's where my schoolhouse used to be. And this is the road here. And there used to be a store down in here. And that's down in the harbor right there, where we would meet the local steamer a couple of times a week. Little village there.